Greetings, programs. My name is Wretch, and I'd like to welcome you to the Outer Worlds. Now, this is a game that I actually played for the very first time on Extra Life Game Day last year, and had a lot of fun with it, but never really had an opportunity to sit down and continue playing it. So I figure now that we have this kind of empty slot on Tuesdays and Thursdays, it'd be a perfect time to play Space Cowboy once again. So let's go ahead and get a new game started. This is made from the original creators of Fallout, and it kind of takes the Fallout formula and turns it into the kind of setting that you expect from Borderlands. But it does something very unique, does something all its own, and I really enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to seeing what the rest of the game has in store. So we're going to go ahead and start on normal mode here. Conversation, subtitles on. If I need to go ahead and change anything, just let me know in the chat, guys. Good old Halcyon.
Why stay earthbound when prosperity awaits you in the stars? Come to Halcyon, the only colony on the edge of the frontier, owned and operated by corporations. A trip of 10 short years will feel like mere minutes, thanks to the comfort and safety of your very own hibernation chamber. You'll wake up in a perfect society designed to maximize your productivity with guaranteed full employment. With only a minor term of service, you will become the master of your own destiny when you go out of this world to the Halcyon colony.
I love that. Hope to be left at the edge of the colony. Phineas Wells.
Hundreds of thousands of colonists will have to drift out here forever just to keep from damaging the board's bottom line. Disgraceful.
And this is where we go into our character creation. How you doing, Sewers? So the build that I'm going to be going for here, guys, I found online, and it's called Space Cowboy. But I am going to change it up just a little bit. Now, we've got 6 points remaining. For a Space Cowboy, the primary attributes that we need to focus on are Dex, Intelligence, and Perception. Everything else can stay on average. So we can go ahead and do this. So Dex is going to give us a 20% ranged weapon reload speed. It affects handguns, which is what we're going to be going for. We're going to go kind of a revolver ocelot kind of thing. Hey, Jedi. Awesome. Intelligence, which increases critical damage. And then Perception, which is a 20% bonus to extra headshot and weak spot damage. So that's pretty nice all in all. So now we need to determine. We can go ahead and lower some of our other attributes.
You've been commonly described as odious and boorish. High blood pressure could keep you from blacking out at least.
True. So temperament improves our natural health generation. So if we won't go below average, we'll have no passive health regeneration. So I think we're just going to go ahead and stick with this. We're going to stay average across the board, but have high perception, intelligence, and dex. The build that I saw suggested that we lower our temperament.
High blood pressure could keep you from blacking out at least.
And strength. And then throwing that into dex.
I see you had a knack for misappropriation.
Dex and something else. Either intelligence or perception, I don't remember which. But I think that we're going to be in good shape if we just go ahead and... The thing about it is, if we're below average with our strength, not only do we carry less, our tactical time dilation, which is essentially the game's version of bullet time, drain for movement is doubled. So when we move around, that's actually a bit of a problem for us, I would think. So let's do... I think we're just going to stick with this. Now, with skills, we've got 2 points available, and we need to throw that into ranged.
You are going to paint the system red, my friend.
And I believe, specifically, handguns. That's going to be our guiding light. But we also need science, apparently.
Ah, a fellow tinkerer.
So science is going to allow us, it increases damage of plasma and shock weapons, and also improves the special effects for science weapons. So when we get different types of ammo, science is going to be really important for us. So I think we can go ahead and call that good. Now we choose our aptitude. This is kind of our background before we decided to board the ship to Halcyon. And for this, one of the things I thought about was scientist assistant. That actually gives us science +1. Or we could, I was either thinking that, or just to counteract the fact that we didn't really take anything in talk or fast talk, cashier, subgrade non-supervisory, which gives us a persuade +1. I'm going to go ahead and let you guys choose that. Should we go ahead and go with scientist assistant or cashier? I see the cashier thing kind of being like Marty McFly in Back to the Future 3, because he played that Wild Gunman game so well he became actually adept with handguns. Or there's just a science assistant. Just, I don't know. What do you guys think? Hey, Lilani. Are we a cashier going to go on our business, or the science assistant? Which do you think is going to be best for us? Lonnie says the cashier, just to have that little additional persuade is probably going to help us out a bit. A little bit
Handle
of
bits for a living, huh?
No transaction is finished without a smile. You live for the ka-thunk of a bit cartridge getting inserted right side up, the redemption of loyalty points, and the promise of a good day. Come back real soon, bye-bye now, are more than empty words. They're a promise and a standard you intend on carrying to the frontier. Oh God, no. That's not really the kind of vibe I want to go for. We could also go with no discernible aptitude. And that gives us determination +1. Which I think sounds kind of good.
You're better off without an indenturement contract.
I'm not sure. Let's see what determination... Oh, it determines... skills increase the maximum health of your companions. Okay, that's kind of cool. Persuade in conversation has a chance to inflict cower when you first damage a human target. And then science is science, of course. I think we're going to be I think we're going to be good one way or the other. Let's go with cashier.
Working your way up to provisioner?
Now, gender, we'll go with male. Face. Which one looks more like me? I think we already passed it, but... I'm thinking either this one right here, or this one. That one's got a little bit of a rounder face. That might be more me. Tanner skin tone. Let's go for hazel eyes. All you have to do is edit the hair. Well, let's go ahead then. No, actually, I like the. Let's stick with our original choice there. Eye size. Everything else there looks all okay. For hairstyle, there's not a whole lot of long hair, but there is one that I thought. Yeah, there we go. Double check and see if there's anything else I may have missed. Not going to go for the man bun look. Okay. Now with hair color, see if we can get the blonde popping. Accurate. Hey, Liquid, how you doing? We are rocking out some Outer Worlds here. Going to be doing a brand new series. Just trying to get through the most difficult part of any RPG, and that's character creation. I think... Man, those are some attack brows, aren't they? Those are more like mine. Facial hair, unfortunately, not a whole lot of choices. We can go for like the 5 o'clock shadow and like the Ambrose, the super sideburns. I hate the bushy sideburn look. Everything else, though, is very kind of Old West style. So maybe... Stereo, the stash. We could go with that. I'll tell you what, let's go for... I don't want to do the beard. Let's just go for the 5 o'clock shadow. And with facial hair color, it does not matter. This guy's baby-faced and good to go. Makeup. Well, we can go all Ziggy Stardust if we want to, so that's kind of cool. We can also get some blemishes. Be the stash. Have some blood running down our nose. We can go Reaver. Too bad we can't do anything like glasses or such off the bat. No dirt. Scars, though, I'm all for. Got the Joker, classic. I like the 3 across. Looks like he got into a fight with some sort of wild animal. Yeah, it looks good. Age. Let's go for it. Just a little vibe of wrinkles there. And what's our name? People don't need to ask. Spacer's Choice is dying to meet you. You'll never hear some crosswords. Alright, let's do this. Looks like a good way to go ahead and start.
Looks to be your lucky day, my friend. Not likely, bootlickers. Initiate skip jump.
Need to invest in some shields. That is such a thing. Terra 2.
Status. Structural integrity down 25%. Power levels down 90%. Skip drive.
Shit.
Inoperable.
Wakey, wakey.
Ah, there you are. Wondering what's going on, eh? Bit of bad news there, I'm afraid. Your colony ship was inexplicably knocked out of skip space and forced to complete its journey at sublight speeds. This means that you and every other colonist on the Hope have been in suspended animation for 70 years, give or take. Normally, reviving someone after so long leads to some quite horrifying results. It's called explosive cell death, but it's really more of a liquefaction. Something wrong? Oh, yes, well, not to worry. I've pumped your body full of a special concoction I devised to keep you from dying so horrifically. Hopefully at all, but I guess we'll see, yes?
Science!
Unfortunately, I used the last of my chemical supplies saving you. I know it's a lot to ask, but I must have your help securing more if we're to save the rest of your fellow colonists. I'd see it done myself, of course, but the board has a sizable bounty on my head. Now, my ship is inoperative, but I've managed to hire a smuggler to help you out. He'll be... Oh, I see we're in position. Good luck!
If they did this as a movie, this would be Peter Capaldi. Getting some BioShock Infinite vibes there. Chairman Rockwell raises a glass to our lost brothers and sisters. Okie dokie. I love the propaganda posters. It's like probably one of my favorite things in this game as we continue loading in.
Can you hear me? Is this thing working? Ah, there you are. Now, where were we? Oh, yes, the smuggler. His name is Hawthorne, and he should be waiting for you at the landing site. He's to be your chauffeur, so to speak. Not to worry, I'm told he's a specialist. Dashing gunslinger, one-of-a-kind ship, that sort of thing. You'll like him, I'm sure. I've also outfitted you with a simple wireless monitor, so I can track your progress. I'll check in with you as soon as you land. Good luck. All the colonists are counting on you.
So far, our character has nerves of steel.
You've landed. Good. Hawthorne should be close by. What in law's name? Is that him? Oh, that idiot. I told him to plant the beacon and move away, not stand there holding it. Oh well, no sense in letting his ship go to waste.
Rest in peace, buddy.
Hawthorne won't mind you taking his ship. Better you than the board, huh? Not sure I trusted the fellow. Might have gone after the bounty on my head. Shame about the whole squashing thing. Nasty way to go.
I forgot how pretty this game was. Like, I only played this for... I forgot how many hours I played it. But I really, really dug it. So let's see about grabbing a gun. That'd be nice. Standard jump. Our first little bit of wildlife. We did. We completely Wicked Witched him. L3 to sprint. Crouch to sneak. While sneaking, use tall grass, rocks, or other cover to hide from enemies. Use this to sneak past enemies or sneak up on them to initiate combat. Okay. Probably by the next stream, I'm going to go ahead and move my webcam up to the top right-hand corner. The awareness meter overhead usually tells you if they are unaware, suspicious, investigating, or alerted. Dun 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 dun. Yeah, nothing like a properly reinforced witch's hat. That's what prevents accidents from happening. There you are.
Easy now. You've been frozen for a while. There's bound to be unforeseen side effects.
You might feel some momentary discomfort. Now, how did we activate the time dilation? Ow. You have low health. Use the emergency medicinal inhaler to heal. Each activation consumes 1 adreno. So you get it basically a heal over time.
Hey, you, come here. You've tried the best now. Now try the rest. Spacer's choice. Oh, law, that stings.
Hey, sit still. I'll patch you up.
Looks like the bleeding stopped. I owe you one. Hope you don't mind me omitting this little exchange from my report. Spacer's Choice doesn't like us accepting outside help.
So what happened to you?
We were out on patrol. I saw a marauder camp up in the hills. Thought I could take him. Then my gun misfired. Right through my side. I mean, what are the odds of that, right? Just barely scraped by with my life. Crawled in here and blocked off the exit with those canisters.
And what's this about marauders?
Gibbering, flesh-eating, law-breaking, unemployed lunatics with guns. Some hullhead grounded their spacecraft out in the open. That's a real good way to attract marauders. See those canisters by the entrance? Marauders come sniffing around in here, and I can take them all out with a single shot. Not bad, huh?
Ooh, I'm not exactly sure which is our best stat, but we do have the +1 to persuade, so I got a better idea. Give me your gun, and I'll go get help.
Yeah, okay. You look like you know your way around a gun. Got some spare ammo, not counting the bullet in my side. Here, you can have my saber too, for patching me up and all. All Spacer's Choice weapons are now 30% less likely to malfunction. You've tried the best, now try the rest. Spacer's Choice. Yes, nailed it that time.
Alright, take care, sewers. So, can you tell me where I am?
You hit your head or something? You're in Emerald Vale.
Geo.
We're a Spacer's Choice community. Edgewater's a little ways down. Prettiest place in the Vale. Be sure to stop by a provisioner's for a can of our famous salt tuna.
Oh, I forgot about the salt tuna. Do you know anything about the Hope? Or actually, no, we gotta... Do you know anything about the Hope?
The Hope? Is that some sort of fancy new drug? Are you with Auntie Cleo or something? Don't take this the wrong way or nothing, but I'm not allowed to fraternize with Cleo workers. Company policy.
Alright. I'm off then.
Damn it, my ears! Oh, what just happened? Can you hear me? What in the hell? This...
go again. Tactical time dilation. It's R1. Alright. I'll take it. We'll take all the goods, all the things. Mag pick. I remember a lot of this stuff being important. Hello, bunch of nanners. Hacking and picking locks. Hacking and the lock picking skill helps you get into places you're not meant to be. Mag picks are used to break open locks, and bypass shunts are used to break computer encryptions. If your skill is high enough to break the security, you will see how many mag picks or shunts you'll need and how long it will take. Okay. So 3 out of 2. Telescoping staff. Well, we're not exactly going to go all melee, so... Fish sticks. What about this gentleman? Piecemeal mining helmet. Our first piece of armor. So... TNL weapon safety training. Weapon management. 110 DPS, 110 DPS. Nothing out of the ordinary there. Aramid ballistics will keep your skin intact. So... Alright. We're going to look like a Tusken Raider in no time. For our skills, we chose... I'm trying to remember. We went with... ranged and tech. Because I really want to throw a lot of points into science and handguns. Handguns, obviously, for the damage. I'm kind of going with a space cowboy gunslinger build. And science is going to allow us to get even nastier, different types of ammo for situations. So now we just need to find more things to shoot. Easy on this planet. Like so. Just... Oh, hi. Real good with firearms. Gotta shop smart. Shop S-smart. Lightsaber, or a sentry saber, excuse me, which is a light weapon. So far, so good. We'll be able to sell all of our ill-gotten gains. And we did narrowly avoid being shot at. Oh, look at this thing. Gorgeous.
Hey! Get over here before you get yourself killed! Don't know where you came from, stranger, but you best keep your head down. There's marauders hereabouts, and worse, landing violators. Gall on that rung leech. Landing in the Vale without using an official Spacer's Choice landing pad. I'd slap him with a fine if it weren't for all these marauders shambling about.
The Fiend. Yeah, so I heard. Found one of your teammates holed up in a cave.
Really? How is he?
Nah, he'll make it. Helped him a little bit with the pain.
Shouldn't have done that. Spacer's Choice family ain't authorized to receive medical aid from off-brand physicians. We'll see him back to Edgewater, just as soon as I cross these marauders off with the swift, cost-efficient fury that's made Spacer's Choice the most trusted brand in personal defense. I just, you know, need a couple of winks to catch my breath. Stretch my legs some.
Do Space's Choice gods back down from a challenge?
Well, sometimes. Management's real good at cost-benefit analysis. But, seeing as I'm the acting manager in this situation, you know what? You're right. It's time we cross those marauders off, find whoever owns that ship, and file a full report. Then it's gonna be fucking laminated.
Here we go.
Let's go for the lamination.
Collect a fine bounty.
All right. Good job there, guys. You shot a few things. The spaceship design is awesome. Just slices of fried gold.
Damn marauders are out of control.
This is gonna take a lot of paperwork.
Woohoo!
Please.
Oh, hold on. Anti-Cleo management training. Skill improvements. Here's another Peter Capaldi thing you could play. Okay, you have been promoted. So we've got 10 points that we can currently spend. Now remember, we have got to throw a lot of stuff into... Let's do ranged. And tech. Just so we can get our science up. I think once we get our science up to like 50, we'll be in good shape, but... I don't necessarily want to mess up the rest of the stuff that we're doing, but we definitely need to, I don't know, defense and block sound pretty nice. If there's anything else that I would throw into, it's probably be defense and dialogue options. But, let's go ahead and apply. You have unlocked location hit effects for tactical time dilation. Hitting enemies in different locations during tactical time dilation maims or cripples those body parts. Try different locations to see the different effects. Cool. Now, for perks. Toughness. Oh, wait, actually, no, we're definitely going to go with toughness. Can't go wrong with 50% more base health. Call that good. Details, reputation, we're
Be
good.
informed that this vessel contains no valuable plunder.
Welcome aboard the Apex transport, the Unreliable. I'm trying to remember how we put our gun away.
Intruders are not authorized to access the Unreliable's amenities, including the cargo hold's workbench. Unauthorized access of spacefaring vessels is a crime. Please submit yourself to the authorities. Hello, Marauder. I am Ada, the autonomous digital astrogator of this vessel. Please be informed that I am authorized to use violent retribution against unwanted solicitors. Please return any misappropriated equipment and exit this vessel in an orderly fashion. Failure to do so will result in your immediate destruction.
Well, I'm not exactly here to misappropriate anything.
I detect an elevated heart rate, indicating dishonesty. Please prepare yourself for lethal deterrence. Jettison procedures initiated. Disengaging airlocks. Preparing to eject all boarded parties in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Is something supposed to be happening?
You are still here. My deception protocols have failed. I have been programmed to express disappointment.
Womp womp. So is this Hawthorne's ship?
This vessel is the registered property of Captain Alex Hawthorne. I am incapable of accepting orders from anyone other than Captain Alex Hawthorne.
Well, I'm afraid your captain's a red smear under my escape pod.
I understand. I will require some time to process this information. Thank you for your patience and for your honesty. I am programmed to take orders exclusively from Captain Hawthorne. If I accept your orders, then you must be Captain Hawthorne. Do you understand?
She's got the hairstyle of either Captain Marvel or Negasonic Teenage Warhead, which I dig. Oh, I get it. You need me to be Captain Hawthorne or you can't fly.
Well done, Captain Hawthorne. I see your powers of deductive reasoning remain intact. Unfortunately, our engine is currently inoperable. Our main drive suffered a critical power failure, and we were forced to make an emergency landing. The main drive's power regulator has been irreparably damaged and must be replaced.
Well, I doubt I'll find a pod like that just sitting in the garage now.
Astutely observed. However, the probability of locating a power regulator within a worker settlement falls within acceptable parameters of certainty. High-capacity power regulators are sometimes employed in the electrical networks of worker settlements. I have taken the liberty of printing you a new Captain's Identity cartridge. Please try not to lose it this time. This cartridge identifies you, Alex Hawthorne, as the registered proprietor and captain of the Unreliable. Do you understand?
Yeah, Ada, I got it. Thanks.
Best of luck in your search for a power regulator. Try to stay alive this time.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it when I got to play it. So now that I can actually give it my full attention, I'm looking forward to seeing what else it has to offer. I think I just got past like this first area.
If your equipment is in need of repair or modification, the Crux 2000 work... I suppose everything on the Unreliable belongs to you now, Captain. Help yourself. No, really.
I love the GLaDOS style kind of dry sarcasm. Toss ball stick. Some of the areas we can't go into yet until we're able to find our companions. Time to play a game.
The ship's engines cannot be powered until a replacement regulator has been properly installed.
Kaylee?
Want to be a brand new you? Try out our respecification machine. Alex installed it himself, right before he died.
Vocational competence respecification machine. Choose respec. Oh! Okay, that's cool. I like that. Spend 500 bits. But we know that we can do it if we want to. So if we decide we want to throw more stuff into persuasion or anything else, we'll be in good shape. Do I need to... Are there any goodies up here in the cargo? Nope. Wretch the Stash. I don't think I can change my name, though. Hey, Umbridge!
Due to catastrophic power failure, all doors will remain on security lockdown.
Yeah. Can't even go into my own quarters. I've had it for so long.
These are the crew's quarters. Alex preferred to travel alone, but he always had me.
Wow. That just reminded me of an old issue of Star Wars Tales that talked about a guy, he was on a hyperspace trip. And the hyperspace engine pretty much exploded in mid-trip, and it was going to take like 30 or 40 years for them to get their destination. But there was a service droid, like a female service droid, on the ship that he eventually, like, fell in love with. And the droid actually kind of fell in love with him too. And as he was about to die because he started having heart failure because he was so old, she actually, she was skilled in first aid, and she actually took out his heart and replaced it with hers. So it's kind of one of those really kind of Twilight Zone stories, but it was really good, especially for Star Wars. Okay, I think that's all that we can check out on the ship for right now.
Say, this wouldn't happen to be your ship, would it? Because you sure walked in it like it was your ship. And if this ship is yours, well, mister, you owe Spacer's Choice a hefty fine. I'm afraid we gotta dock your pay.
I'm afraid you've got it all wrong. You see, I'm a Starship Safety Inspector.
Oh, by the law. I'm so sorry. I had no idea we had an inspector coming. If you'd like to speak with my manager, I report to Constable Reyes in Edgewater. Edgewater's not too far. Just follow the road east of here, over past the cemetery. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to inspect the crime scene before I make my report.
You take care now. What about you, Kimball?
Not just anyone is chosen to enforce landing regulations, you know? I had to fill out 4 whole forms.
In duplicate. Well, now I do kind of want to explore a little bit. I know there are some really dangerous areas here if we are not careful, so... But I also do know that there's like a camp. There's a raider camp or something over along this... one of these pathways. Save it? Save it, then explore. Okay, that's fair. Actually, I think it's right here. No, there it is. Marauder Hooligan. Then go get yourself blown up. In relative safety. How you doing? Woo! It's the only one you have. Oh. How do we heal again? I forgot how we healed. There we go. L1. Reconditioned exo helmet. Ooh, hello there, critter. Okay, nothing on him. Get ourselves a bit cartridge at least. Armor parts. Alright, should be good. Any other lookouts or anything we should be aware of? Well, if we can handle that, I think we're going to be in pretty good shape here, guys. Delicious, delicious bits. It's about nighttime, though. Let's see what our new item repair. Keeping your company gear in tip-top shape is expected. Fair enough. Is that better than what I've got? Yep. Ooh, I like the hood. We should keep the hood. And then the cobbled exosuit. I wish we could keep, like, skins. Because I like some of these looks. They're pretty cool.
Huh?
Headshots ahoy! Oh, they killed the resident. Well, I shot this guy's head off. Small percentage of weapons and armor you may find are considered pristine. Hmm. Did we find something pristine? Yes, we did. More rebuilt mining gear. It's lower in terms of armor, but stealth skills +5. I like the other one. Let me go ahead and sell that. See, we got the ships just flying overhead. It's just such a cool feeling of ambience. We do have a ton of ammo, though. I'm glad to say. And there we go. Good old Edgewater. You will never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy. Actually, that's a lie. We're going to find a lot more wretched hives as we continue on. Yeah, it kind of reminds me of No Man's Sky.
Whoa, hey, where'd you come from? Don't go ambling out in those hills. That's Marauder territory, friend.
I'm just passing through.
Ain't safe out here. You'd best head into town. Avail yourself of Edgewater's high walls. And low prices.
Well, it's nice to meet you. I'm Alex Hawthorne, captain of the Unreliable.
Pleased to make your acquaintanceship. I'd shake your hand, but I've been hauling corpses. You don't want none of that on you. Name's Silas. Junior in humor for the town of Edgewater. We're all part of the Spacer's Choice family.
Junior in humor. That's a fancy title for a gravedigger.
Hey, I earned that fancy title. Started off a lowly junior gravesite builder, then junior interment engineer. Oh, and I was a junior burial assistant for a time.
You seem pretty old to be a junior anything.
The rate I've been working, I'm bound to earn a promotion. Must be about 50, 60 burials away from associate in humor.
Ooh, associate. So who do I talk to about a power regulator?
Definitely not the junior in humor, that's for sure. If you've got business inquiries, you should stop by Reed Thompson's office. He's up in the tower above the cannery. Head into town, follow the road. Look, you obviously ain't a worker. What's your racket? You a smuggler? Freelancer?
That depends on the work, I suppose. You offering me a job?
Edgewater is a company town, board-owned and operated. That includes the cemetery. None of us own our gravesites, we rent them from the company. Renting means money. Money means paperwork. Paperwork means signatures. Some of our families become a mite delinquent in paying their dues, you see?
So you're making people pay for their own graves?
Company policy. If it was up to me, I'd put the whole town 10 feet under, free of charge.
And why can't you collect these fees yourself?
Quotas, mostly. Got a backlog of graves to fill. Bodies won't bury themselves, you know?
Alright. I'll collect your fees for you.
4 workers still haven't paid up. Phyllis, Conrad, Ludwig, and Martin Abernathy. He's a special case. You may want to twist his arm a little.
And why is Abernathy a special case?
He just is. Look, I don't want to get into it. Just make sure he pays up.
And where exactly can I find these people?
Conrad's got a barbershop in town. Phyllis works at the cannery most hours. Abernathy... I ain't seen him in a few days. His domicile is near the cannery. You'll find him in town. All except Ludwig, that is. He's over by the landing pad.
I think Ludwig was the one who's like going to war against all robots. Something else I wanted to ask you.
Yeah?
You lose a lot of people to Marauders?
Former people, yeah. Marauders been raiding my graves, you see. Hence the armed guards.
And what exactly are they after? Loot?
Oh no. They are after the most precious loot of all. Spacer's Choice Company property. If those Marauders swipe any more bodies out of my cemetery, company's gonna duck my pay.
This town must be in pretty bad shape if it's keeping you employed.
You could look at it that way, I suppose. You could look at us and say, those Edgewater saps lost near every soul to plague. But you'd be wrong. We're survivors. Loyal company folk, brave in the wilds.
You're not worried about falling sick at all?
Every now and again, a virulent plague sweeps through our town. That's life on the frontier, I suppose. A body grows accustomed.
And how long have you been a junior Inhuma? Or gravedigger, or whatever?
Hang on, I'm doing some math in my head. 20, 30, carry the 1... all my life? Work's been real good to me. Fresh air, exercise. Only problem's the paperwork. Can't get anybody to pay their gravesite fees.
Let's see if we can do a mission to kill some Marauders.
Former people, yeah.
You know, if you got a Marauder problem, I can take care of it.
Well, if you're gonna go headhunting, talk to Constable Reyes back in town. She pays for Marauders by the finger.
Any idea where they're coming from?
Couldn't tell you. No, I mean, I'm contractually prohibited from saying anything that might reflect poorly on Spacer's Choice. Avoid it. Shouldn't have said that either. Look, forget I said anything.
Thanks for your time.
Beats working at the cannery.
I could really go for some salt tuna.
Really? Why? Yeah, good old Edgewater. And head there first up. We're going to rob everyone blind. Heavy ammo. Steal. Steal a spade. Steal a shovel. Reconditioned exo helmet. Welcome, Junior Inhumer. From the Inhumers Association. And this reminds me of the stuff that you'd see in, like, Alien Isolation. Dear reader, your subscription to the Inhumers Association newsletter has expired. We'd like to invite you to renew your subscription. Act now, and we'll throw in a copy of our newest publication, Shovel's Gazette and Quarterly. This is from Spacer's Choice Human Resources. Edgewater Cemetery is a property of the Spacer's Choice Company. The Spacer's Choice family takes care of its own, from the cradle to the grave. Gravesite plots and headstones are provided by Spacer's Choice at an affordable rate. Comfortable, spacious plots, custom engraved headstones and monograms, complimentary eulogy courtesy of the Order of Scientific Inquiry. Let your spirit rest in the privacy of a Spacer's Choice brand gravesite. Inventory logs. Password required. Burial invoice. Name Theodore Granger. Cause of expiration industrial accident. Successfully interred in gravesite 13F. Paid and accounted. In humorous addendum, Teddy's corpse was missing a hand. Deducted 5 bits from graveside fee because I'm a kindly fellow. Waste not, want not. We'll leave him at least one shovel. Why'd that door suddenly open? And pet pills. Early retirement. Do you want to end your years in luxury and comfort? Do you dream of walking beneath the vaulted arches of Byzantium? Early retirement is finally here. Early retirement is your ticket to Byzantium. Early retirement is Chairman Rockwell and Minister Clark's gift to you. Selection for the early retirement process is by lottery. Winners enjoy an all-expense-paid trip to their new life in Byzantium, the Jewel of Halcyon. Okay. Can we go... Now we're just going to go... Now we're going to do what we normally do in these games, guys. Explore. The island plot. Yeah, Stereo, I was thinking the exact same thing. You know, I probably should check and see if there's anyone in here before I start robbing the place blind. 2-hour brew. Energy cells. Mock apple juice. I'm just helping out their economy, I'd like to think. Ooh, bypass shunt. Okay, cool. I didn't know whether they opened automatically or not. Well, we already got a shovel and a spade. Got the bathroom facilities. Lovely. This Saturday only at Antibiotic Sports Arena. Rizzo's Rangers versus Auntie Cleo's Darlings. Bit cartridge. So many bits. For a not yet, yeah, who knows? It may exist, just we don't know the name of it yet. One of the scariest things I ever saw in any game that I played was Aberrant. Aberrant was White Wolf, the people who do Vampire the Masquerade. It was their superhero RPG set in the Trinity universe, and they one of the big powers that were involved. You had the government, you had like factions of superheroes and supervillains, but one of the nastiest was Viasoft. And it was a combination of Viacom and Microsoft got together to become this huge tech company, or this huge monopoly, like almost cyberpunk style corporation. And they were just taking over everything so much that like Disney and Apple were thinking about combining in the timeline. And I was like, thought about that, and that gave me more of a shiver than anything else I read. And there was just the concept of just these super corporations, which kind of are already happening. So negotiation, subterfuge, or a big hammer. Ah, yes. Okay, cool. Well,
they start asking you for some medicine, come tell me. I'll set them straight. Keep your distance, friend. Sick house is no place for a traveler.
Don't you tell me what to do.
I appreciate the company and all, but you really ought to leave. You don't want to be seen around me.
And why not?
Because I'm sick. You don't want to associate with people in the sick house. We're not worth your time. I'm in about as much trouble as I can be. No reason you ought to be tarnished by association. People are gonna talk.
Why? What's going on here exactly?
Figured it was obvious. I got sick. Couldn't get better on my own. Got moved here for everyone's sake. Maybe you don't know this, but there's a real simple reason you don't talk to the plagued. You don't want what we've got.
Well, I do have a little bit of training. I could take a look at you.
Don't. Please. I could get into a lot of trouble.
What kind of trouble?
People trouble. Lazy worker like me getting special treatment from some out-of-town physiker like you. People will talk.
Physiker?
Company always tells us. Weak spirits lead to weak bodies. If I didn't want to fall sick with plague, maybe I should have worked harder. Maybe I should have taken more pride in my work.
You know that's ridiculous, right? You can't blame yourself because you fell sick.
I really wish you wouldn't say those sorts of things. I told you once already. People could be listening. I'm feeling a touch faint. If you don't mind, I'd like to be alone for a spell.
I'll leave you be then. You know, the thing is about the companies, this actually kind of reminds me of... We're not going to steal anything right now. You don't look like you're going to be using it. Mechanical Sentry. I guess these are all corpses. Yep, we're going to assume they're corpses. This must be the corpse room. Hello? Well, the stuff about the corporate, like, settlements and stuff reminds me a lot of Epcot, because that was originally what Epcot was supposed to be. It was like Disney's perfect city. Ooh, and the bathroom of the plague house. Good times in here. Oh, Weyland-Yutani? Yeah, I could see that too. Or any of the stuff from Blade Runner. Which makes sense considering the fact that Ridley Scott considers that Blade Runner and Alien are set in the same universe. Yeah. I'm gonna hug you.
Spacer's choice takes care of its own.
How do I put my gun away? Hold on. I need to check that real quick. Controls. Button layout. Next weapon. Power attack. Reload, talk, interact. Hold for weapon holstering. Okay. There we go. Now he looks slightly less threatening. But only slightly.
Heard something outside the walls today.
Nothing for us outside those walls. You ought to know that.
This game has so much personality. Yeah, crippling shoulder pain. It's like having to hold a bucket, you know, with your arm outstretched. Okay, so we got the barber shop. Let's go ahead and meet some more of the denizens here. Mm-hmm.
Please don't touch anything. Your hands are probably crawling with germs. Physical hygiene recapitulates moral hygiene. Cleanliness is next to lawfulness.
Now, this guy reminds me a lot of... I don't know if you guys have ever watched the show...
Can't stop the signal now.
Bridge, thank you very much for that, host. You guys ever remember the show Night Court? But the guy who played the... I think his name was Harry. He played the judge. This guy he has a similar look and a similar vocal inflection. You know, I can go ahead and show you my hands if you'd like.
No, thank you. That's quite all right. I've seen enough body parts in my line of work. I'm Conrad. You will report to me if your hair fails to meet Spacer's Choice aesthetic standards.
Too late.
You will also report to me in the event of your death, whereupon I will clean and prepare your remains for interment.
Prepare my remains for what?
Burial, in the unfortunate event of a fatality. It's what a barber does. We make you presentable.
Speaking of burials, Silas sent me to collect your fees.
Ah, gravesite fees. Silas and I had talked about this at length. I thought I'd made it clear my pecuniary situation precludes the necessary restitutions.
You mean you're broke?
As broke as pie crust, friend. Bitless, indigent, destitute. I simply cannot afford it. I am a blemish on the prosperity of our fair settlement. When I expire, I expect Silas to toss my body into a ditch.
Well, if there's some quality drama, Conrad, you should audition.
Thank you, no. I despise the serials. Tell Silas I can't afford to pay, and that I fully expect to have my medical rights revoked for this dereliction. With my apologies.
Well, hang on. Medical rats?
Some time ago, I fell ill with the plague. By the grace of the law, and through my own hard work, I'd proven worthy of treatment. Frankly, I don't imagine I'll earn that right a second time. The barber work hasn't been profitable, you see. I've had to keep this old place running with my own savings.
Give me 1 sec here, guys. I'm getting a little bit of an echo. And I think that is because... Let's see here. I'm not exactly sure how to change the volume. Oh, wait. Wait. Aha! There we go. If you heard a little bit of echo, I apologize. Should be in good shape now. How about you just give Silas an IOU?
Not a bad idea. But I'd need some kind of collateral. My pair of lucky clippers. No, that won't do. Your idea intrigues me, but I'm afraid I don't have anything to give Silas. I'm open to suggestions.
Well, I'll let you know if I think of anything.
Much obliged.
It was a slight echo. Was all Kath? I'm not sure what it would have to do with refreshing Jedi, but try and figure it out. Hello? Conrad. Receptionist shot himself. This is bad. Company's gonna have to call it for what it is. Destruction of Spacer's Choice property. Eugene was an asset and someone has to pay for his body price. This is gonna ruin us. So I was thinking that we pawn off his teeth. Eugene had a full set of gold teeth. Heirlooms passed down his family or something. You're processing his body, right? Just dig around and pry them out. We sell the teeth somewhere nice and quiet, use the bits to pay his body price, and nobody's the wiser. What do you think? Don't write back. In fact, don't talk to me at all. Just give me a special signal next time you see me. Waggle your eyebrows. Phyllis G. Mm-hmm. Don't you mind me. I'm just here grabbing Spacer's Choice property. No one else is going to be using it. Alright.
What can I do for you?
You sound like you had some training. I know a thing or two about medicine.
Oh? Am I in the company of a fellow doctor?
Only if we use the term doctor very loosely.
I am a Spacer's Choice certified surgeon, and if you must know, I can stitch a severed thumb with a 58% chance of avoiding gangrene.
58% of the time, every time. I'll tell you what. I know about Eugene. So why not use his teeth as collateral for your graveside fees?
You know about Eugene? How?
That's really none of your business.
You probably heard it from one of our local gossip mongers. Eugene's golden teeth were a family heirloom, representing 3 generations of poor dental hygiene. He took them to his grave.
Well, then I'm sure he won't miss them.
That's unthinkable. Eugene's body and all rare earth minerals contained therein are solely the property of Spacer's Choice. I can't ask Silas to dig up a man's body and pry a few teeth loose from his jaw just to pay my bills. Can I?
I think you're gonna have to.
Yes, I suppose I must. Here you are. Gravesite papers affixed with my signature and an IOU.
Pleasure, Conrad. Let's see if we can get any more info from him.
What can I do for you?
I'm looking to repair my ship.
A ship? Dear me. You seem to have lost the ability to distinguish between reality and fantasy. This is what happens when you let your imagination run wild. I don't approve of fantasizing. It's a dreadful habit, corrosive to the mental faculties. You ought to let the vicar take a look inside your head.
Your vicar?
Vicar Maximilian, our man from the OSI, here to spread the message of scientism like a soothing balm upon a feverish head. Or so you'd expect. You'll find him in our local church, probably neglecting his duties.
You don't seem to like him much.
He doesn't seem to like us much. The vicar has not been with us long, and in his relatively short tenure in Edgewater, gives off the distinct whiff of superiority.
I got some more questions for you.
Go ahead.
You seem pretty enthusiastic about this place.
Edgewater has been good to me. I consider myself privileged to work here. I am never wanting for work, not since the plague started.
Yeah, it's true. And he's not a journeyman by any stretch of the imagination. So what do you know about this plague exactly?
The plague's come at us with a vengeance this year. Lost 6 workers in as many months. I wouldn't call them good workers, mind you. If they were any good, they'd have been treated. Still, it is a shame.
So what are the symptoms?
Fever, chills, fatigue, aching, vomiting, an excess of phlegm, a tendency towards belly aching.
So why exactly don't you treat all of your workers?
Company policy, friend. We don't have enough medicine to treat all of us, so we treat the best among us.
And whose idea was that?
Mr. Thompson's brainchild. Have you met him yet? Thoughtful-looking fellow, stares out of his office most hours.
That's all for now. Ah, yes, we need to be reintroduced to the good Mr. Thompson. Here we got the cantina. You're getting your own shepherd. There's the hope, at least. Esther?
I've got some time.
So what do you do here?
Oh, I'm an actuary. That means I keep tabs on a worker's living expenses. How much it costs to feed, Clothe, shelter, bury, and replace your average human worker. Technically, I'm employed by the Spacer's Choice Department of Human Resources.
The most powerful department of all. I'll leave you be then. No, we need to head into the cantina. Come on now. This is a Western. It's like one of the first places that you go.
You read the latest report?
Only the part that said we ain't making our quotas.
If only McDevitt's folk hadn't abandoned us. Cannery could use those extra hands.
Nothing we can do about that.
Sure there is. We can have another 0G.
I don't know you.
Alex Hawthorne, captain of the Unreliable.
Uh-huh. The Unreliable, you say? Never heard of any company supply ship with that particular name. I don't know what you're about, but this here's a Spacer's Choice drinking establishment. We're all loyal, hard-working company folk here.
And what a fine establishment it is.
You really think so? That's kind of you. I've been trying to keep the floors clean. You got no idea how long it takes to scrub the tiles. Guess I misreckoned you. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to be curt. We just got some problems lately. I can get you a drink if you'd like. Gotta ask you to enjoy your beverage within the premises, though. Can't risk you bringing a drink over to those deserters. You understand.
What's this about deserters?
Traitors. The lot of them. Bunch of folks decided they were tired of working and went out into the wilds to fend for their own selves. Town's already struggling to make quotas, even without that band of slackwits abandoning their posts. Bunch of lazy, shiftless rung leeches. Anyway, enough about them. What can I do for you?
I want to talk to Reed. Where can I find him?
Do you now? And what makes you think Mr. Thompson wants to talk to you? He's a busy man. You want to talk to Mr. Thompson, try ignoring your duties. He'll summon you up to that great big tower atop the cannery, and you'll get yourself a proper dressing down.
It's not some sort of euphemism, I hope. You say that like it's a good thing.
It is a good thing. If you're not pulling your weight, you don't deserve to live here. Simple as that.
Something else I wanted to ask you. So what's your story?
I don't see how that's any of your business.
Oh, persuasive 26, yowza. Yeah, I guess it's not.
Will there be anything else?
Never mind. I know we have to come back here for something, but... Winslow.
Never seen you here before. You a visitor? Welcome. On behalf of the Spacer's Choice family, let me welcome you to where am I again?
This is Eddie. You know, I've been asking myself that same question.
Oh, I ask myself questions all the time. For example, why do we spend money on these fancy latrines when we have a perfectly good wall outside?
I think you've had a little too much to drink there, friend.
Oh, it's fine. I'm only on my third bottle. I don't start heaving up my guts as long as I can count to 3. Company lets me imbibe as much 0G brew as I can afford. Even gave me a discount on account of my injury. You jealous yet?
You were injured?
Yep. Got my mid stuck in a rotor wheel. Shredded my wrist up real good. Conrad went and sewed up my hand, but I couldn't do much about the pain. Boss was real generous to me, though. Got myself a 5% discount on 0G brew. After the second bottle, the only pain I feel is emotional.
How generous. You sound like you need a surgeon.
Hey, Conrad's a surgeon. Well, he's a barber. That's like surgery, but for your hair.
I'll leave you be. Like a bad way to go through it. Time for burglary. Steal all the 0G brew, sell it back to them. At a markup. Ooh, Adrenos. I will gladly take those. The music is very soothing in this game too, which is kind of awesome. There's a leak at the basin. Mm-hmm. It is on a loop, but it's like not on one of those like, oh god, here we go again kind of things. Spacer's Chaw. Light ammo. Whatever keeps me from having to buy new stuff. Bit cartridges. Now remember, once we get to a certain weight limit, we start moving very slow and then we can't run. I do remember that. Now I guess we can go ahead and steal stuff from the balcony. Oh. Hello there. Someone had their secret snack chamber on the roof. Actually makes me wonder if we can... Oh, ow. It's just a broken ankle. We're good friends. I remember we have to come back in here for a quest. Can't go back through there, though. Yeah, there was a bathroom that we couldn't find something, but we just need to look in the right spot. There's the general store. Might as well sell some of our... I don't know. Do we want to sell stuff or break stuff down?
Yep. 2 whole cans of salt tuna.
Well, before we do anything else, let's go talk to the big boss. Let's see what's what. The tower and the mighty Saltuna Cannery. The cradle of civilization for this area. Okie doke. The Edgewater Saltuna Canning Factory strictly adheres to Spacer's Choice standards of health and safety. Notice, schedule your sick leave with your Spacer's Choice foreman and/or supervisor. Be considerate toward other members of the Spacer's Choice family. Allow 2 to 4 weeks to process and approve your scheduled sick leave. Lost hours must be compensated to the company. See Reed if you're having trouble paying for your sick leave. We'll try to arrange wage deductions instead. Remember, work invigorates the spirit. Sickness in the body reflects sickness in the mind and sickness in the character. If you find yourself falling ill, it may be time to schedule a meeting with your local vicar. Ugh. All good? All good. Elevator, go up! Respect the law and order, or you'll be serving hard times.
The grease monkey, Argo?
I'm sorry, Mr. Thompson, sir. You asked why it's taking so long to fix. The answer's technical.
Don't apologize. Just try using small words for me.
The can's bust open in the oven because she's set to cook saltuna, which isn't what we've got. Mr. Thompson? I think there's someone here to see you.
Focus, Miss Holcomb. You and I are still talking. Let's start over. Walk me through the process. Show me where it's going awry.
Well, sure. It's, mostly on account of what we're feeding into the mechanism.
It puts food in cans. We have food, we have cans. Why won't it work like we need?
She's expecting Saltuna of a certain size. We're filling the cans.
Seems we've got a guest.
Oh, whoops.
Really now, Parvati, I do wish you'd spoken up. I do apologize. I was given no forewarning of your arrival, or I might have welcomed you at the gates myself.
So, are you Reed? I was told I should talk to you.
I'm Reed Thompson, Outpost Administrator. I cannot help but notice you are not in uniform.
I think you might have the wrong idea about me.
Yes, so it dawns on me. Seems I allowed my excitement to run away with my wits. Been a few seasons since we've had a visitor pass through.
My ship needs repairs. I'm looking for a power regulator.
Only regulator we got is hooked up to the town transformer. Mr. Thompson ain't liable to be keen on dismantling it.
I beg your pardon. I am most emphatically not keen on any such thing. I can't let you have our power regulator. But I happen to know of another one. And I happen to know exactly how you may retrieve it without frying yourself in the process.
Let me guess. You want me to do something for you before you help me?
My proposition benefits the both of us. Please, hear me out. There's a power regulator in the old botanical lab. It's mostly abandoned, so all that power is being squandered. Go down to the geothermal plant. Reroute power from the botanical district over to us. Once their power's shut down, you can have their regulator and be along on your way.
So when you say mostly abandoned, what exactly do you mean?
I was not entirely sure how to tell you this. The botanical labs are not legally inhabited, but there are people who live there.
Well, I don't think those people would take kindly to losing their power.
No, I do not imagine they will be pleased. But like a parent disciplining an unruly child, you will be doing them a kindness. The people living in the botanical labs, they're deserters, former workers. I need them back at their posts. I need them to come home.
And why is that?
Edgewater is struggling. We haven't hit our production quota in years. If we don't meet our quotas this year, the company might shut us down for good. I need those workers back at their stations.
You know, none of what you're telling me is exactly my problem.
It's our problem, not yours, but I'm asking for your help. If those workers don't come back, Edgewater is going to collapse. My hope is that by cutting off their power, you will convince those deserters to come back to town. Before you go to the plant, I want you to stop by the botanical lab. Speak to their leader, Adelaide. Tell her the power's about to go, and that it's time her band of deserters came back to town.
And how will I recognize this Adelaide?
Adelaide's older than the other deserters. She's dignified, kindly. From what I understand, her camp looks to her for leadership.
And what if Adelaide doesn't want to come back?
That is not a hypothetical I enjoy entertaining. We need Adelaide back. Nonetheless, I will settle for the return of her followers. We belong to one community, the Spacer's Choice family. If we dissolve into factions, then we will all perish separately. Adelaide will understand that.
All right, Reed. I'll see what I can do to help you.
My dad told me all about the plant. Taught me all he knew. I could come in useful. I mean, if that's all right with you, Mr. Thompson. Sir.
I hesitate to part ways with Miss Holcomb, but I cannot deny that she is talented and may prove useful to you. You will need an administrative passcode in order to enter the plant. I am trusting you with mine, and trusting Miss Holcomb to guide you if you'd like.
Why not? I could use the company.
Great! I got my wrenches and diagnosticators and hairpins and engine tape, so I'm all set.
Well, I am glad to hear that. Best of luck to you, and thank you again for your help. It is a lot to ask of a stranger, I know.
Well, let's get going. We've got a buddy! Some people may require completing another quest before they will assist you. You can check your quest log for dependencies.
You're some sort of freelancer?
Yep.
Don't make me report you to Mr. Thompson.
Looks like there's nothing up here to loot. Oh. You need Reed's key to unlock.
We better clear out of Mr. Thompson's office before we talk.
Elevator go down the hole. Some Jackbox party pack music.
Hey, mister, can we talk? Sorry. Can we talk? Sorry. You just want to get out of here. And you likely don't want to tag along like me. It's just, Mr. Thompson has his own view on matters, on account of it's his job and what all, but that's not the only side of the tale.
Is this about the deserters? What's the other side of it? Actually, that figures. Reed didn't exactly strike me as the most honest soul.
Oh, he ain't a liar. He believes every word he says. It's just, he doesn't always get where other folk are talking from. To Mr. Thompson, a person's a gear. It does its job quiet-like. If it squeaks or stutters, it gets replaced. The deserters are decent folk. I knew some of them before they left.
Did you know this Adelaide Reed mentioned?
Miss McDevitt? Oh, gosh, no. She was a real important person. A flavorist. Made all the food taste decent. She used to work up in the big office with Mr. Thompson.
Oh.
All I know is she left after her son died. It was a real big to-do. I could hear them both yelling clear from my own place.
Well, you can't leave it at that. While we're reading Adelaide arguing.
Can't say as I know. I wasn't there. The sound carried, but not the words. If Mr. Thompson ain't of a mind to tell you his own self, you'd best ask Miss McDevitt, if you can get out to her.
So how well did you know the deserters? You work with them? Friends, or what?
I don't know anybody well. I mostly listened to them talk, kept my head down. There was a boy named Thomas who used to follow me around, asking questions about the stuff I fixed. He was real sweet to me. Not any sort of dissident.
Well, I can't blame anyone for wanting to leave. This town's got issues.
Life's hard here. Especially for them that don't fit in so well. We're one big Spacer's Choice family, but every family's got the one the rest whisper about. Mr. Thompson's aiming to take away their power. They'll have no lights to see, nor heat to cook. They'll be at the mercy of marauders, or worse. I think you should talk to the town's vicar about it. Max, his name is.
And what do we need to talk to the vicar about? Flipping the switch in your power mill?
About if what Mr. Thompson proposes to do is upright. Leaving Miss McDevitt's folk to their fate. Their neighbors. Kin. And maybe he can think of something else to try. Something we ain't. He used to go walking outside town. Maybe he found something that'll help. It's just an idea. That's all.
Where would I find him?
The mission's on the east side of town. You can't miss it. On account of it being the only clean thing.
I suppose it couldn't hurt. We'll stop by.
Thanks, mister. I just think when you gotta make a decision that'll hurt somebody, It's best to think on the right and wrong of it. That's what my dad used to say anyways.
We got a Kaylee. Now, we've got a lot more of this town to explore, too. Oh, man. Now, we got that pathway out. We have got the...
Hey, did you hear about Wilson?
Heard Marauders got him.
Just between us, Wilson deserted. Lost his nerve. Ran off in the thick of night.
You kidding me? Damn. Always thought he was made of sterner stuff.
I think he was plagued. Guess he didn't want to die in the sick house.
Plagued? Ah, shit. I had some of his salt tuna.
You moron.
You're doomed. Yeah, here's the office. Trying to remember all the places that we went before.
This is where the magic happens. Well, science. But it still happens here.
Science! Workbench. Now, we don't really have any, like, really good weapons yet, so I'm not going to go out of my way. We have to... We'll procure better ones as we move on.
Hey, that's... I mean, if you need it, okay.
Thank you. We're just grabbing stuff, that's all. Edgewater Saltuna Cannery. Maintenance Division. Welcome, Holcomb. Ticket 65565. Filed by Thompson, Reed. AG loader serial failure on startup. Steps to reproduce. Turn on engine. Try it again. Kick the loader. Curse injured toes. I have to enter a minimum of 8 steps. Try it again. It makes a rattling noise. Maintenance notes. Dang it, Clancy. I just got you back on your feet 2 weeks ago. Not that you got feet, but you know what I mean. Sounds like his stator's off access again. We'll clean out and resit. Clancy's guts got caught and all pulled out, likely on account of somebody trying to restart him over and over again. Need to rewind all the coiling in number 4. Okay, stator's working, but there's something else off. Have to wait until it's quiet and spin him up for a listen. Failure to main cannery production line at heat processing. Steps to reproduce. Startup production line according to schedule. Observe processing of cans. Follow first batch to heat processing stage. 1 or more. Loud popping noises. Smoke. Smell of burning salt tuna. Overheat klaxon on monitor 6. Flame jets jet from exhaust ports. Automatic shutdown. Likely as not, Bess got indigestion from being made to eat something she ain't made to. Again, heading over now. I love the fact that she actually names all the machinery. That is a very Kaylee kind of thing to do. From L. Miller. Issue has been open for 0 days. Damned mechanicals. Oh, this must be Ludwig. Open, priority low. Priority automatically reset to low by executive level admin. Rule applied to Thompson Reed. Because reason, trouble ticket filed by Miller L. Look northwise. I said look northwise, blasted useless translator. Near scrap pile. Could be northeast from town, I guess. Observe mechanical. Clanking about all menacing like. See it? It's right there. Love it. And I remember we did that mission too. Tarmac and cheese. Sounds lovely. Okay, so we've robbed our new friend blind. Should we go ahead and search through the rest of the cannery before we continue on? Might as well. See if we can find anything nifty. I think one of our debts is in here too. Ooh. Toss ball blocker. Rob them blind. Huzzah. Criminal activities. Whoops. Just getting all the XP.
If you're hungry, I could open up a can of something.
Oh, this is where you live. Yeah, got nice digs, I have to say. I've definitely seen worse.
Oh, you like flowers? I can't find many kinds around here.
I don't think we came in here the first time.
I don't like coming out here. People on the street stare.
Chinese checkers. Well, it sucks that they stare.
If you need to go, I'll wait outside.
Okay. Think we're good there. And that's just a closet. Yeah, she did have her own little office. That's cool. Okay, got the constable. Well, she may be kind of critical to the overall operation of this place, so let's close that up. And head into the cannery. I want to take a look at all the... Defeat our foes. Taste the freedom. I actually want that. I want that hung in the kitchen, because in my kitchen, at my house, because that'd be cool. Dissenters in our midst. Fascinating thing, propaganda.
Sorry, I got a lot to do.
Lost and found. Found, one left hand, severed at the wrist. Some bone damage. People, this is our second unscheduled amputation in as many months. Please exercise caution and safety around machinery. Maintenance fees will be deducted from your pay. Noted. Ooh, we found our first vending machine. You just stay there. Fast ration pill. Can we actually buy any decent firepower? Got a revolver for 160. Don't know if that would be the best option. We could get some fancy armor too. I don't know why there'd be ammo in the cabinets in the company mess, but it's not for small minds from like mine to ponder. Yeah, why buy it when you can loot it? That's very true. Ooh, we got a weapon mod. She opened the door. That's not nice. Loose lips, pink slips. Bard. The bathroom, the mop. I think we went down here because this is where the actual yeah, it's right here. We shot a lot of people in here before, if memory serves. See, we got a lot of different areas that we can shoot to inflict maximum damage. Everything else is just kind of here, though. Okay. I think she's over there, like, near the main equipment. This is like the electricity for the entire colony. Yeah, it is. It's wholesome memories. Oh. Okay, that's barred. You can't go in through there. Oh. Sprat hide. I think that's what they're making the salt tuna out of now. If memory serves. So I know there's an armed sentry hanging out around here, like doing the patrols. Yeah, shock, horror. I will take that light machine gun. I'm not going to do what we did before and like try and save one of everything like Noah. We're just going to... Oh, okay, that's the elevator. Got full stock for another vending machine. Another pathway. So we have to go up. Go talk to that lady. Provided she's still here. First things first, though. Oh, okay, we can hack that. I don't necessarily know if we need to. From the Office of Reed Thompson, Outpost Administrator, systems of infection have now reached a critical mass. I have instructed our staff to transform the old domicile into a sick house. Plague is a reality of life on the frontier, and as spacers, we are expected to face up to reality. And the reality is that we do not carry enough medicine to treat all of you. Medical equipment treatment is a privilege, not a right. We must strive every day to demonstrate our worthiness of that privilege. If you find yourself suffering the symptoms of incipient plague, the best thing you can do for yourself and your family is to don your jumpers and come to work. Work fortifies the spirit. Physical illness recapitulates spiritual weakness. Ew. Wholesome. So wholesome. I see why there's so much alcohol around here. Pickup Guide to Mechanical Engineering, Volume 2. There she is. And there's our guard. Hello, guard. I haven't been robbing this place blind.
Got my sights on you.
Sure you do. We'll grab the hides, since you are obviously not needing the meat for anything. Or, anything moral. Okay. This is the last office. Close the door behind you. Were you born in a barn? Don't answer that. Mag pick. Ooh. Axe, armor parts. Okay, Foreman Phyllis Granger. Phyllis, owing to your hard work and positive attitude, I have sanctioned your access to medical treatment in the event of contagion. As you know, the company has not provided us with enough medicine to treat every worker. I wish I could treat every member of the Spacer's Choice family who fell ill to this plague, but I cannot. Medical privileges are strictly merit-based. Please do not, under any circumstance, distribute your ration of medication to any other worker. We're all in this together. Tenderfoot. Theodore buried last night. Reed asked me not to report his death in our quarterlies. Sounds fair to me. Was asked to prepare a statement or something for the other workers. Been thinking about it. Don't know what to tell them. Don't end up like Theodore. Do your work, show up, wear a smile, and you'll get your medical privileges. It's a start? Okay, Phyllis.
You the new worker? Whatever. Make it quick, Tenderfoot. I'm busy.
I'm guessing you're the foreman.
Foreman Granger. Mind those words don't come out of your mouth unless preceded by yes or right away or thank you.
Graveside fees. I'm here to collect. Right away.
Shit. Silas still on about that? Here, take the fees. I'd appreciate it if you didn't tell Reed I was late on my payment.
These papers aren't signed in your name, though.
Because they're not my fees and not my gravesite. Guy I worked with shot himself. I paid the bill.
You have to pay for your neighbor's gravesite fees?
If you're not familiar with board law, you ought to be. Law requires delinquent gravesite fees to be paid by the deceased party's closest living relative, which meant me. Shame, though. Eugene was a good worker.
You said this guy shot himself?
Woke up one morning and put a round through his upper story. Can't imagine why. The kid was doing all right at his desk. We all thought he was an upstanding receptionist. Just between the two of us, I'm pretty shocked his weapon didn't misfire. Spacer's Choice handguns aren't the most reliable.
Hence the reason we are not spending money on one. Must be tough losing family.
Eugene wasn't family.
I thought you said you were his closest living relative.
Yeah, I was the closest living person relative to his body at time of death. I'm the one who found him, you see, so I pay the fines. Suicide's a crime. The legal term is irreparable damage to company property.
It's cold-blooded.
What Eugene did to himself was vandalism.
You can't be serious.
I'm plenty serious. In fact, I'm a little upset Eugene didn't think things through. In other words, Edgewater would have been penalized pretty hard. Whatever Eugene was worth as an asset, we would have had to pay out of pocket to Spacer's Choice.
Would've. You didn't?
Look around. Edgewater ain't exactly swimming in luxury. We can't afford to pay the body price of a suicide. All I know is Silas asked me for Eugene's gravesite fees, which means he was approved for burial, which means his papers went through, which means the town's in the clear. I'm just glad to put this whole ugly affair behind me. Eugene can rest his bones in peace, and the rest of us can get on with our own lives.
I'll go ahead and let you get back to work. It's the most cold-blooded of corporate practices. Some heavy-duty dystopia going on here, guys. And he was just the receptionist. That's the thing. Like, this was his dad. He hung out right here. So we got the botanical lab this way. We've got Ludwig. Oh, we've got Vicar Max right there. We've got some more debts to collect. We got quite a bit more to explore here in town as well.
You're safer inside the walls.
Because I think Ludwig's going to send us to kill a droid. Ooh, barbecue pit. Oh, those are trash. I thought they looked like barbecue pits. Mushroom garden. Lovely. Looks like there should be something back here for us. Oh. Hello. Can we actually jump up here? Do some... Oh, Assassin's Creed. There you are. Armor parts. I knew that was like, there's some reason that this would be here. Why don't they just eat the mushrooms? If there's like a little garden for them. Thank y'all.
I'm sorry. I'll just be a minute.
You had a minute. Next one comes out of your pay.
Ease off the threats, friend. I'm going.
Boss's orders. We all got quotas to make.
Let a man have a smoke. This is bad stuff, man.
You're safer inside the walls.
Aha. Thug kit and a tech kit. I don't know what exactly those do, but I will take them gladly. And I don't think we're going to be leaving the walls just yet. We do need to go talk to the vicar eventually. I'm just kind of seeing if there's any other little secrets we can track down. Oh yeah, they're actually...
I wonder if the plague's ever gonna pass.
Just keep working. Work fortifies the spirit.
Yeah, we can talk to the vicar, and I think our other debt
Another day at the cannery
is right here. Yes, indeed. Mr. Abernathy.
Yes, Mr. Thompson. I'm fine, Mr. Thompson. Never been healthier.
Just want to see what is currently in your domicile before I talk to you. Ooh, energy cell. Shup. Ah, Pepperjack. Thank you very much for that raid, friend. How's it going? Hello, everyone from Pepper Stream. My name is Wretch, if you have first time seen. I'm a variety streamer that does all kinds of different stuff, specifically for the Extra Life charity. And you caught us near the end of our block of playing the Outer Worlds, and then I'm probably going to jump into another game, so please stay tuned for that. No need to panic, civilians. And nothing to grab from the bathroom, so that's something. Alright. So, I think that this is actually a good place to end the Outer Worlds for tonight, guys, because we still got to go in here and talk to the Spacer's Choice Security.
What I'm doing with myself.
Oop.
Nothing I can do about that.
We got to talk to Abernathy. We still got a lot to do here. And hopefully we'll get into some combat too. So we'll probably play another game after this. So please hang tight. I'm going to do my outro for YouTube. I want to thank you guys very much for watching. If you haven't followed the channel, please do so. I try and stream on Tuesdays and Thursdays and all times of day during the weekends. And if you're watching the replay of this on YouTube, I have a link to the channel in the description below. Like, share, subscribe. You guys know the drill there. And we will see you next time. Later days, everyone.